When you give birth, make sure you or somebody is always around your baby, even if there are doctors and nurses, because mistakes do happen. I was scrolling TikTok and I saw a mom, this is based in America, a student nurse accidentally cut too deep off the umbilical cord and into her son's belly button. Extreme, because poor newborn had to actually get stitches. Now this was really triggering because the second day I was in the hospital after I had my baby, I was really sick, and the midwife wheeled him in to get checked, and I was really dizzy, needed blood, like there was just so much going on, and I had a retained placenta. So health-wise, I wasn't doing the best. And the midwife came to weigh my baby and check up. Always accompany my babies. I don't know, I don't feel safe, even if they were professionals. So she wheeled him off really quickly, and then she said, since you're dizzy, you don't even have to come. And I'm like, no, I'm gonna come. Anyways, she was already wheeling him off. The hospital I was at, I have this area, it's behind a glass window, so that's where they do everything, and you can see. She took my baby around and I could see through the glass. By the time I made it, I was really dizzy and I leaned over on the glass. I think she was weighing him, and then she takes off the umbilical cord clip. Now, with my research, and I've previously had a baby, I know it falls out on its own. So she just took the clip off, left it on the bassinet, pulled him back over. Why did you remove the clip? And she basically replied, I'm a senior midwife. How dare you question my decision? Now I'm thinking, how did I not reply? How was I not rude? But anyways, like I said, the circumstances were different. And I said, because I like for it to fall off on its own. She goes, I know what I'm doing. I have over 20 years experience. This is the best. Now, she literally made that decision for me. Once the clip is off, you can't really put it back on and wait for it to fall on its own. That's it. I didn't think much of it. Newborn, back on the bed, nursing baby, changing nappies, whatever. Yeah, the day went on. Let me tell you what this midwife caused. The next day, everything was okay. Baby was still feeding. Day 3, so I was released from the hospital, went home. Everything was fine until nighttime. Want to feed? He just cried the whole night. And every time I changed him, it smelled like something was rotting. He also showed signs of jaundice. So day 4, we were back at the hospital. There were checks, and they said, oh, the belly button's looking infected. And I explained the situation. They said, oh, let's start him straight away on an antibiotics drip. And I said, so you're very sure that it's an infection? They said, no, but most likely. Doctors going back and forth. I'm still basically delusional and not fully there. Said, I don't want to start a 4-day-old on antibiotics. It's very early. Can we try topical antibiotics? Do you know what the pediatrician told me? There's no topical antibiotics. Now, like I said, now if I was told this, I'd be like, of course there is. I know. I was like, oh, really? There's none? She goes, yeah, there's none. I'm the type of person that just keeps questioning. So I went online and I'm like, it says there is. Like, this is not even in front of her. And I made a few phone calls and I was told, what do you mean? Of course there's topical antibiotics, so like an antibiotic cream. And I thought that's better to apply obviously directly on the area. I was even told before starting antibiotics to put salt in the belly button area. They took a swab and then they said that they had to send it out to the lab and it will take a few days. I could and then stay the night, maybe a few nights. It just depends on how he reacts. Same pediatrician. He seems pretty unsettled. Maybe you're not feeding well. How long are you breastfeeding for? And I was like, I don't know, it just depends. At the birthing unit that you could feed for half an hour, longer than that, it just depends. She was like, no, I don't recommend doing that. These were the exact words, and I wasn't on my own, luckily, because maybe I would have forgotten certain parts. But no, she said 20 minutes, and then if he's still hungry, you can give him formula. If you've breastfed or if you know anything about breastfeeding, that's not how you do it. If there's not enough milk, then yeah, definitely use supplement with formula. But if there is enough milk, you feed your baby your milk. Anyways, I asked for topical antibiotics and I said I wanted to leave. They would give me a call if they found something in the swab, as in if it is an infection. Till today, I haven't received a call. So I guess there wasn't an infection. For months and months, the belly button area didn't look right. I ended up applying salt and antiseptic powder that you apply on the belly button and apply a gauze. Belly button did not look normal for so long. Like, she should have asked me. So many things would have been avoided and they weren't because of what she did. Just remember, just because someone is a doctor, nurse, midwife, whatever it is, mean that they know what they're doing. They can still make mistakes. They can give you the wrong advice. Always double check. And sometimes even when you know what's going on, they have you doubting. So just be careful. This